Welcome to the Bourbon Jerk. Thanks for the click. What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to give you my knee-jerk reaction to the brand new release from Barrell Craft Spirits, their Foundation Double Barrel Bourbon. Full disclosure here, this bottle was sent to the channel by Barrell for me to review. All that they asked in return was that I make sure to mention that the bottle came from them. So there you go. Let's talk about Barrell Craft Spirits for a minute. I wouldn't say that this was one of the first brands that I discovered at the beginning of my bourbon or whiskey journey. In fact, it wasn't until I tried Seagrass in 2021 or 2022 that I actually tried any of their products. But I absolutely love Seagrass Batch 1, and from there I tried Dovetail and their batch bourbons and even a few store picks, and it pretty quickly became a favorite brand of mine. I would say a big reason that I didn't discover Barrell sooner was that when I was first getting into bourbon, I kind of gravitated to bottles in the 90 to 100 proof range, and every Barrell product on the shelf at that point was barrel proof. Another reason that I may not have reached for one of their bottles sooner was their price point. I believe every one of their bottles was priced at $85 or higher at that time. Fast forward to last year. Barrell launched Foundation, and this marked a pretty substantial departure from their existing approach. Not only was it their first release that was not barrel proof, it's a 100 proofer, but it was their least expensive offering as well, coming in with an MSRP here in Michigan of $50. None of that really would have mattered if the product wasn't any good, but as it turned out, it's absolutely fantastic. I'll tell you right now, there's not much at that $50 price point that it can't stand up against. That brings us to the here and now and the release of Barrell Foundation Double Barrel. When I first heard about this one, I was definitely excited because not only was I a big fan of Foundation, but I love double oaked whiskeys. As you can see on the front, it's got a 5-year age statement, but this is a bit deceiving because it's got a lot of much older bourbon in the blend. Here's what's in it. It's got 8-year-old Kentucky bourbon, 5, 6, and 9-year-old Indiana bourbon, 8-year-old Tennessee bourbon, and 5 and 6-year-old Maryland bourbon. The derived mash bill is 73% corn, 23% rye, and 4% malted barley. If these numbers sound familiar, it's because it's the exact same stats as Barrell Foundation. So it seems like Barrell took Foundation and then re-racked that blend in new American oak barrels. They're calling it double barreled. I believe, and you can leave me a comment if I'm wrong, but the secondary barrels here are toasted as opposed to being charred. And I think that's why they call it double barreled and not double oaked. But how about this? Is it any good? Let's give it a rip and find out. Pour this into the Bourbon Jerk Whiskey Wisdom glass. And if you want to get your hands on one of these, you're gonna have to join the Bourbon Jerk Patreon. Link in the description below. On to the whiskey. On the nose, this is somehow reminding me of like a campfire. Maybe like toasted marshmallow, graham cracker, toffee, maybe some of that toasted barrel coming through. I don't know. Very nice nose. On the palate. On the palate, it's buttery and oily. It's got a pretty good mouthfeel. Dark chocolate. Definitely get more of those like campfire type vibes going on. Maybe graham cracker. A little bit of dark fruit coming through, like figs or dates. Maybe a little orange peel. I can tell you that it's very pleasant. It's a good sipper. It does have a little bit of a lingering finish, but it's not blowing me away with proof because, again, it's only 100 proof. But I really like the Foundation, and this just kind of builds on it. It gives it an extra level or layer of flavors, a little bit more depth, a little bit more complexity. This is a fantastic pour for $50. So let's consider what this is maybe competing with on the shelf. You've got this, and then you've got the Elijah Craig Toasted, which is about $55 to $60. And then you've got Woodford Reserve Double Oaked, which is $60 to $70, depending on if it's a off-the-shelf version or if it's a store pick. I'm going to tell you that I think this is better than both. As far as rating this one goes, I'm going to score it as elite. Not only that, but I'm going to tell you that this is your first must-have bottle of 2025. You tried this one yet? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, cheers. Thanks for watching. Stay jerky.